Hello, Goddess. Welcome. Welcome to this week's Super Sign Sunday. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get this out this evening. It has been a rough couple of days. Some triggers have finally been rising up to be released within me from my past with what is happening in this world right now. And that's all for my growth. I know this. However, in that space, I don't care to hear that. So I definitely recognize what it is to be in that space of frustration. To not want to hear that it's going to get better, this is temporary. I get it when you're in that breakdown space. And that's very much what is happening for all of us right now. Is breaking down to break through. It's time to stop hiding in the darkness and to connect with the light within each one of us. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rochelle, and I am the self-love empowerment coach here at Empowerment Experiences, who she herself is on a healing twin flames journey, most likely right along with you. I have definitely come to know for sure that a twin flame journey is a self-love empowerment journey. It is about coming back home to yourself. That's what it is, to come home to union within, and that is the path to union with our twin. I'm very excited. I just got my nails done, my first ever French style. And it's exactly what I needed to, for that self-love piece after, again, the things that have come up. I will be releasing that video in the next couple days, and it's going to be raw. I recorded one of my shadow space experiences yesterday, and I do that to share with you so you can see that this healing journey isn't so fucking pretty. That said, it's what we must endure. We must journey along. Because only through the breaking down of the walls that we've built within ourselves around our heart, only through breaking that down can you actually amplify the love. But if there's walls around your heart due to lack of trust, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, when we have all of these things that keep us in our own prison within ourselves, we never get to experience what's outside of that prison. And that prison is one that we create for ourselves. You see, the soul is free. We're here to bring that truth forward as we ascend into this new earth. That's exactly what this is about. It's true liberation. Breaking free from the matrix of the lower frequencies that keep you in guilt and shame and blame and fear from being who you truly are, from expressing yourself. The time has come to come out of that dark and shine that light, Goddess. And it's okay. It's okay to be in that space. And this is why, again, I will be sharing the video from yesterday of the shadow space that I just walked through. Parts of myself that I thought I could possibly hide from forever, but wherever we go, there we are. That's what triggers are. That's what triggers are about. They're triggering the wounds within ourselves that we need to heal. And that means you gotta fucking feel it. And you gotta, in that space, be holding that space for yourself and loving yourself through that. Sometimes it can get pretty dark and heavy. So for me, I am very eager to see what Super Sign Sunday brings us, especially after feeling this incredible shift within myself after these past couple days. And I'm very eager to hear. So without further ado, let's just do this. Let's do this, shall we? Well, exactly what I was saying, freedom. You have to choose it. You have to choose it for yourself. You've got to be the one to embody that. And you know, I always hear my divine masculine talking about, I just want freedom. I just want freedom. Is that not what every soul wants? You just want freedom to be who you are, to not be afraid to be who you are, to be with who you want to be with, to live the life that you want to live. And we've got to embody that energy. We are creating this. Even though it may feel at times that it's easier to fall back into that prison of our minds, that's what we're liberating ourselves from. That's what the matrix is. It's this manipulation of our ego mind through fear and propaganda and all these things that tell us we're not good enough, we're unworthy, and whatever other bullshit, belief systems, BS that we've been fed that are not in alignment with that love frequency. We are here to be the embodiment of that love frequency, to bring it into this realm more than it's ever been. And that means that you, me, we have got to be cultivating that love within ourselves. It's perfectly aligned that one of the goddesses in my free Telegram group, my Rise and Thrive tribe on the Telegram app, I'll put the link down below, asked about love, self-love being conceited, basically being selfish through self-love. And there is clarification. It's important that you be healthy selfish. You've got to be the one to take that responsibility for yourself and fill your cup so full. Lead by example. Free yourself from the bullshit stories that say you have to sacrifice yourself for everybody else, and you constantly struggle through life with an empty cup because you're not taking that time to fill yours up first, so you actually have something to pour into others. To liberate yourself from that bullshit that you have to put yourself last. To liberate yourself from that bullshit that says you don't deserve what you desire, that you're not good enough, that my ego right now really is triggering in that space of, I went through all of that evil and darkness and was finally reaching a point in my life where things were going amazing, and I thought finally the scales were going to be balanced and I was going to get to live this amazing life. Then the scam hit a year and a half ago to try to usher all of humanity into this draconian transhumanism space where you really have no freedom whatsoever at all. You got to be constantly afraid of the system. Nope. You're here to free yourself from that system. And once you see the matrix for what it is, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there are not going to be days that you are going to wish that you didn't learn what you learned about the truth of this reality here. The reality that really is a illusion. Breaking free of the matrix, of the simulation, of the computer game, in essence, that we are living out here. Which, when you can really begin to see that and say, wow, all that's happened is my files then within myself, my programming, right, within me has been corrupted. Wow. And that's exactly what the matrix itself is. It is a corrupted system that is created to keep humanity submissive to keep humanity in its place. And that's why it is so often so challenging to get out of poverty, to get out of and break these cycles, these generational curses and such, to actually live the life that you love, that you desire to be living. All right, so you are the only one that can liberate yourself from that, though, because it has to begin with liberating yourself from the prison in your own mind that you are in a prison. That programming, that corrupted programming that's telling you you're not good enough, you can't be, do, and have anything. And for me, that's been, again, one of those triggers, is that I went through all of that thinking finally and knowing that I can be, do, and have anything, to then get that slammed in my face. That no, I can't just hop on a plane and go be with my love. My visitor visa to India is suspended. All visitor visas are suspended right now. And I know I've mentioned that before, but that is definitely one of my greatest things that my ego likes to go, see, you don't get to, and I'm like, oh, can we just, that's for right now. This is temporary. It's going to be even better once we get on the other side of the breakdown. The system is breaking down right now. That is what this is. In order for the new earth to rise, ashes must be there to rise from. So the old system is crumbling. We are breaking ourselves free from the corrupted programming that have kept humanity in a stagnant evolutionary process. We've been stagnant. And that's why all of us light warriors are here, is to break humanity free from that. Especially as twin flames, goddesses, your greatest mission here is to anchor the light and amplify the love. Unconditional divine source love. And what greater lesson than to have this connection with someone and you want them in your life in such a way, so much so that you feel excruciatingly shattered when they're not. But you've got to be the one to put those pieces together within yourself, because technically only you can. Your twin flame cannot do it for you. They cannot be the ones to fill that gap. That would be attachment. Ego attachment versus soul connection, they are different. True love must begin within, from where it expands outward to envelop, encompass, and embrace those around us. Imagine if people, the majority, took responsibility for filling their cups, for living healthy, and that means mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that we fill our cups so full that they overflow into those around us. And then those who aren't quite yet equipped to fill their own cups, you have something to pour into those cups. But there are so many of us that are fully capable of filling our own cups, but we've been taught that sacrificial love. We've been taught that we need to be dependent on someone else to love us and fill that gap, fill our cups. That everybody's cups are fucking empty. Because it has to begin with loving you, goddess. It has to begin with you loving you. And that means to love yourself even in your darkest moments. To be cultivating that, to be holding that space for you, whatever that looks like. And this is again why I share some raw shit in my own journey. In fact, am probably going to go back and republish my raw video from last year, May, my birthday, when I was purging through, for my connection in myself, the bullshit story that his family told him about me, that I was too old and he was just a child when we were together, and that's an outright lie. He was 21, he could freaking drink, okay? At least in my country. I don't know what the drinking age is in India, or if there is one, I'm not sure. But point was, in American standards, he was able to drink, so he was perfectly legal. You know, but It's liberating ourselves from, again, this prison in our own minds of the bullshit stories that we tell ourselves that weigh us down, in those that keep us in those lower vibrations of guilt, shame, blame, unworthiness, anger. And oh, sister, let me tell you, the anger within me that has been coming up from these times, countless times. I did not count how many times I was raped or gang raped. I was definitely gang raped only twice. It just all kind of blurs together, quite honestly. I remember the college one more than the others. But countless times I was raped. And there's a lot of anger inside of me that is coming up to be released because of that, because of feeling so helpless. And it being triggered by what's happening right now, of being threatened to be, well, raped medically. When it doesn't make any sense to me from my perspective. So it's really mind-boggling being in the times where we are. So, ooh. And that is why it's important to allow yourself to receive that support. Without the support of my soul family, I honestly don't know. You know, I could not have made it to where I am today were it not for the support of those who I know love me, helping to show me love so that I can see that I am lovable. And the same applies to you, goddess. You've got to be the one to begin allowing yourself to see that, to again free your mind from the prison that you've created with yourself, that you are not lovable, that you're not supported, that you're not wealthy, that you're not pretty, you're not smart, whatever that bullshit is. Again, belief systems, which is the stories that we have about ourselves. Allow yourself to receive that support of those who are there for you. Ask for that help. Especially this get more rest. Oof, I can assure you on that, sister. That's what I do anymore, is I do allow myself very much. I hadn't watched movies in a long time. Like the most I had seen in recent, couple years were, on DVD, like Bear in a Big Blue House, or we call it Joy, which is Inside Out, but my little love bug, we call it Joy. We asked, do you want to watch Bear or Joy? When she comes here. Now we got Moana too, so she usually has her pick. But in terms of me, like watching things like I've always loved apocalyptic movies, like the big wave or the big earthquake or the solar flares, those kinds of things. And I actually have spent the last couple weeks kind of holding that space for myself and just letting myself, you want to watch those? Go for it. It's on YouTube. I don't have Netflix, or I hardly watch anything. Like I said, I don't subscribe to any of those things because I don't watch them. I have watched more movies in the past couple weeks than in a long time. But why? Because I needed to allow myself to just kind of let myself be. And Goddess, you're being asked the same, because that's what we're here for. We are here to be. We are here to be the light. We are here to be the love. We are here to be the compassion. We are here to be that freedom, to lead by example. And you can only truly lead by example when you are being. And that's why for me it's been mighty challenging lately, because I haven't felt as though I have been able to be who I feel I need to be for everybody else, when what I was needing was to just be for me. Oh, I just hit the mic, sorry about that. But to be for me. Again, practice what I preach. Say, wait a minute, Goddess, I need to take a couple days. I need to take some time. I need some space for me, because there's like a nuclear bomb going off inside of me right now. Right? And to just hold that space. So I have laid around on my couch with my kitty kids, watching YouTube videos for a couple days, eating cookies, because cookies are my comfort food for sure. At least I make them with essential oils, so there's that. There's that. And one of them I really am drawn to is one that has wild orange in it, because wild orange we call the happiest oil on earth. And it is a happy oil. And so I really, that just hit me. Perhaps that's why these are the cookies that I really like right now. Not just because they're quick, fast, and easy to make, but because they do have wild orange essential oil in them. Right now, Goddess, this is, as I'm saying, your triggers, all of our triggers, this is what's going on in the collective. As we continue, it's like my description was in the Goddess Tribe a short bit ago before I sat to, bring forth this message, is that we are reaching a greater and greater pressure point, like a pimple that's building up and building up, and it's so painful. Right? That's what's happening, is as we ascend, we have this, well, all these things have to come bubbling up. And that's what's happening here, is these shadows that you thought you could suppress or repress, you're killing yourself, Goddess. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to allow yourself to feel what you need to feel, so you are able to heal what you are being presented with healing right now. And for me, something that I do when I'm in that space, and because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it can be so so detrimental when we love what we do, and so we feel like we've got to be constantly doing something to move our business along, and that comes at a detriment to ourselves. That oh my goodness, see, accenting that throat chakra here. That burping, releasing what's inside, that we need to take that time to hold that space to release what is coming up. Because if we continue to ignore it and mask it by doing, that does kind of force itself to erupt. And then it erupts when we don't have that much self-control. We're not able to really have that control because it's the pressure built up to such a state that we didn't alleviate, we didn't, release any of that buildup. We just ignored it and let it build up. So one of the things that I do when I have done this, because especially some of the dark spaces that are coming up for myself, the shadow aspects of myself coming up right now, I highly recommend that you take the opportunity for yourself to just sit there. To just be where you are, and when your mind wants to sit there, wants to start to get onto you and say, you should be doing that. You need to be doing that. Why aren't you doing? That is the opportunity for you to learn to just come into the present moment, take that breath and say, no. The dishes are going to be there. That's going to be there. That's going to be there. I need this rest. I just want to sit here. I just want to be right here. I don't want to do anything. Just leave me alone, world. It's okay to be in that space, sister. It's okay. It's healthy to be in that space, because that is you calling back all the pieces of yourself. You're picking up the pieces. You're allowing yourself to be restored. That's what rest is about. It's restoration. It's restorative. And if you don't take that time to restore yourself, then you are, as we've been discussing, going out into the world expecting yourself to fill other people's cups, but you got an empty cup. Rest is for restoration. Especially after you have been breaking down some pretty thick fucking walls inside of you that have kept some things hidden in places within you that you thought you could ignore forever, but they're being triggered because it's time for you to free yourself from them. Oh, that was a little heavy. I can feel that. And here we go. As I was driving today, again, hearing some songs I hadn't heard in a while, because I have a shit ton of burned CDs, let me tell you, and I carry them in my car, of course. And I was hearing some of my favorite songs I hadn't heard in a while, and they were exactly what I needed to continue to empower me through raising my vibration, through releasing more remnants of this infection. That's what I like to call it. When a wound is triggered, what's happening is you're being directed to an aspect of within yourself that is a wound that has become infected because you ignored it. You didn't allow for that part of yourself to be healed. You ignored the wound in the beginning. Be that you didn't allow yourself to stand up for yourself, to speak your truth, to defend yourself, which is standing up for yourself, right? You instead suppressed and repressed that. And like I said, you covered that up and it turned into an infection. So what happens when these wounds are triggered and they're brought to light, you've got to clean that out. And that means to purge it, to release it, to allow it to exit your energetic being. And once you have released some of the heavier shit, as I like to see, like I have mentioned before, that fugly shower cry, where that's all you have the energy for, is to just bawl your eyes out, to scream, to shout, to sob, and allow for your body to shake loose these stagnant energies that have been taking up residence within your vessel, that are now being presented with this opportunity to be released. So once that initial release has happened, you then are going to find where it's going to be so much easier to say, hey, oh my God, I'm still feeling that. What's my next step? What's my next step? I've done that initial open the wound, suction it out. That's the purge, right? The sob, the anger, that really the heavy shit. Then you release some of that and your vibration has risen a bit. Then you're going to be more receptive to putting on a song that you can sing and dance to. And that's going to continue to raise that vibration within you. And that's what you're being asked right now. Again, it's all about liberating yourself from your bullshit, from this shadow aspect of yourself. And when I say bullshit, I really mean it lovingly. I mean that which needs to be shifted within you. Your BS, your belief systems about yourself, about this world, about men, about relationships, whatever aspects of your life that have created an imprint on your self, your energetic self, your psychological self, your emotional self, your physical self, that are being presented with this opportunity to be released. You are the catalyst. This is why I say this, Goddess. You are the one that has to facilitate that release, that shift. You've got to facilitate that. Nobody can do it for you. And this is exactly what I do, is I support you in navigating this journey. And each person's journey is unique. And this is why I definitely still do one-on-one sessions. I don't mention them a lot anymore. They are limited in quantity because they do take a bit of my energy to offer those. Because I do give so much during those sessions. I know what it is. Obviously, again, as you hear me say time and time again, I know what it is to be so disempowered that you have someone else controlling your life, dictating your life, to the point that you experience far too often others having power over even your own body. So, that said, Goddess, it's remembering that the power is in your hands. And that's what we're doing here, is we are revealing that to ourselves. I am here to support you in expanding more compassion for yourself in your journey. Again, this is what I am talking about in this space when you are in a breakdown phase of your healing journey. and you want to beat yourself up, and you want to tell yourself that you need to be doing this and doing that, and I got to get that done. And how about you just hold space for yourself, goddess, and allow for what needs to happen for yourself to be integrated, right? Integrate your shadow side. If you don't allow for that, again, that restorative phase of your healing journey, it gets more excruciating for you. So you've got to hold that space for yourself. That's really kind of the big thing here right now, is holding space for yourself. And we're going to check with the Sacred Forest Oracle, because what better space than a forest, right? There to tune into the nature and really disconnect from that matrix and connect with that which is natural, because you are a natural being, goddess. You are natural. You're not artificial, okay? And to get to a point where you liberate yourself from the idea that you are anything but who you are here to be, anything but that which you are, then you are able to step fully into that which you are. Yeah. It's wow, so we got that going off, got that going on. Here we had this one first, family. Your soul family. Even as I mentioned before at the beginning, I would not have made it as far as I have come were it not for the support of my soul family. Because my karmic family, I am definitely the psychedelic sheep in my karmic family. My mother is my kryptonite. And it's been an interesting journey, to say the least. But I'm here to tell you right now that friends are family that we choose for ourselves. And I have such an incredible soul family that has truly mirrored in me the love that I am, mirrored how lovable I am, how supported I am. And even in those moments when I start to think that I'm alone, the universe will, and it does, it will guide you to someone that is there to show you that love. Just like yesterday morning, I didn't even realize how much I needed because I live next door, it ended up being a soul family. When I moved in here, I didn't know it, but lo and behold, a soul sister living right next door. Best neighbor ever. And we ended up in a very emotional space yesterday. It's not very often that I see her teared up. And she was even saying to me that right now, this is a very weird space for me to see you like this. You're always so bubbly. You're always so positive and so upbeat in spite of everything that you have been through. That's just who you are. Yet right now, that's not. And it's because I was walking through some very, very dark places within myself that I wanted to hide from. That's what the ego does. The greatest Goliath you'll ever face is the one within yourself. And this is true. This is why, again, it is about integrating that shadow side for yourself, allowing yourself to see those shadows. As scary as they may be perceived to be, you gotta allow yourself to see. So this right here was one of the things that assisted with that shift over these last 36 hours after some pretty dark time frames over this past week, very much. But again, I'm in a much better place today, because it's about that courage, goddess. It's about finding that brave and allowing yourself to walk through the valley of the shadow of death that your ego perceives it to be within yourself. Find your brave. I will link my poem down below. It has been so loved by so many clients that even in my former mentorship group, Telegram support group, because I do offer Telegram support with my mentorship group, so you get more deep dive clarification from me on Telegram outside of our Zoom sessions that we have. And I had pinned this poem at the top of that group, and it was what they wanted. They wanted that poem up there, and they would play it regularly. Find your brave. Because it is within you. It is within you. And you know, I'm going to share right now an angel number that's coming through just from that Find Your Brave is 902. 902 is the time of transition that my sweet little Oliver Bruce was his name. I called him Obi Love as well. He was my last feline leukemia virus positive kitten that I assisted. I was the steward of his journey here, his brief journey. He transitioned at probably not even a year of age. But when he first came to me, he was very uneasy. And I had 3 other fosters, Jeremiah Jack, Carissa May, and Michael Garth. And oh my goodness, Jack and Mikey, that was what I called Michael Garth, Mikey. He was my acrobat cuddler, that's what I call him. They all were feline leukemia virus positive. But Mikey and Jack and Carissa May was a little bit into it, but especially Mikey. Oh my God, he saw Oliver Bruce and he's like, oh my God, a new brother? Let me at him. I want to play. Come, I already love you. Let me love you. And Oliver Bruce was like, oh my God, stranger danger. And he lived in my bedroom for 4 nights. 4 nights he spent in my bedroom, and I would just reassure him as, you know, Mikey and Jack and May were on the other side of the baby gate in the doorway, just looking at him, just conveying to him with their looks and their energy that we just want to play. Welcome, we have so much fun in this house and we're so excited for you to be here. I mean, friends, that's what they knew. Family, that's what they knew he was. But he had been partially feral when he was trapped. And so it was very challenging. And all the time I would just say to him, Oliver Bruce, I'd be like, oh, beloved, find your brave, baby. Find your brave. They just want to love you. They just want to play with you. Find your brave. Just find your brave, baby. Find your brave. Because I would tell him that his brave is inside of him. He just had to be brave enough to let himself be loved. And I tell you what, sister, the moment he finally did, my house was a freaking circus. They were always tumbling and playing, and I have the best video. Maybe I can even find it and throw it at the end of this one just so you guys can experience it, where it was just the perfect timing and they were playing, Mikey and Obi Love were playing, and literally the timing where they catch each other and they do a somersault, and it was so beautiful. I give it a 10 out of 10 for sure. You know, but that's the thing, goddesses. The moral of this is you've got to find your brave to allow yourself to be loved, to allow yourself to receive that support, to allow yourself to be free of the prison within yourself. And be grateful. Be grateful. Be grateful for, oh my goodness, like just the awareness that you are aware, that you're on this journey. Imagine how many are still asleep that don't recognize that the power is within them, that they believe that they are powerless. It may not be easy stepping into your power, reclaiming your power, because it's easier to fall back into the old habits because that's what's familiar. But it's still so much better to be able to say, you know what, I choose. I choose to look for the good in my journey. I choose to look for the blessings here. I choose to be so fucking grateful that everything is temporary. Even the breakdown space is temporary. It's a breakdown to break through. It's a journey through. It's a journey through. So with that, how are we being asked to work that light, to shine that light right now? Whoa, holy freaking moly. Yeah. Boom. These are what we're taking right here. You are not alone. You are not alone. That's also the support. It's not just asking for physical 3D realm support and allowing yourself to receive that, but it's also the energetic realm. To really truly ask the ascended masters, the archangels, your spirit guides, your ancestors to step in on your behalf. Because that is what free will is about. They cannot manipulate your experience without your consent, without your request. This is what free will and freedom, being a sovereign being, is all about. Even the ethereal realm, the spiritual realm, does not usurp your free will. It honors it and supports you in it, not the other way around. It's this, again, this physical matrix, this corrupted system that is usurping free will through manipulation, fear-mongering, propaganda, programming. We are here to liberate our souls and souls of those who are ready to be liberated, who choose to be liberated by you being that leader. Because as you free yourself, you show others the way to free themselves. So right now, because again, it's about filling your cup, Goddess. How can you mother yourself as you are going through these intense breakdowns right now? Make a list. Write out what will support you as you go through these times. Is it to allow yourself to just watch a bunch of apocalyptic movies or whatever, cartoons, or to if it's to sleep all day because you're just tired and drained? If you know, and that's the thing, is it's one thing if it lasts a day or two or three, but when it's lasting weeks or months, that's the challenge there, right? It's because the reason why it will last weeks and months is because you're resisting it. You're not allowing it to flow through. You're not allowing yourself to be supported as that is released from within you. You are the catalyst. Goddess, you are the catalyst. Now, lately it has been so exciting for me to be seeing these incredible angel numbers that come through and are so spot on for what these messages are this week, or for each message, each reading, each empowerment message. And oh wow, 911, that one is amazing. I have to share that. And then 543. So I have a wonderful story about 911. And this was back when I was still really developing my lean into and trust and surrender into the signs and synchronicities of this experience, and start to recognize that there is no such thing as a coincidence. And one day I was scrolling, so we're talking, oh gosh, at least 2 years ago. I even have it in my journal, so it might be 3 years ago, where I was just scrolling on IG, Instagram, and boom, there was this descriptive of 911. And I thought to myself, oh, well, I haven't been seeing 911, so, oh, that doesn't apply to me. So I didn't read it, and I scrolled right past it. A short distance later, or no. Let me get this correct. A couple minutes later, I end up putting the phone down to go check on what I was making in the kitchen. And then I come back and I pick up my phone, and as I pick it up, it was 911. And I went, okay, noted. So I went back in to that post, Because the universe, obviously, I could clearly tell the fact that the universe was like, you really need this message, so I'm gonna make it point blank obvious for you. I even still have that original, and so I will post that in my Instagram post, so you can get all the angel number details and any other like photos of the angel numbers I've been seeing and such. You will see those on my Instagram, all right, at Healing Twin Flames. So be sure to check that out. But I'm going to read this to you. Angel number 911. Lessons have been integrated. Your soul is unlocking codes and upgrading, awakening you to the remembrance of your divine birthright, which that is what this is, to free yourself from the prison of your own mind, because you are not your mind. Stay grounded as you shift into a higher vibration, because it will feel fluid, unknown, and your emotions will feel chaotic. Self-love and self-care will nurture your being during these cycles of ascension. It can feel as though all hell is breaking loose. Oof, ain't that the truth, sister? And everything seems to be going wrong. You are leaping forward, and as you do, the hologram shifts. Therefore, be at ease, align with the shift rather than resist. Remember, only better things await you on the other side. And that's the thing, Goddess, is when you resist, it persists. This is why I say if it lasts for a day or 2 or 3, even if it's a week, all right, allow yourself that. But that's the key, is if you are resisting that healing process, then it's going to persist. That infection within you is going to continue to cause symptoms within your diseased, right? It's in a state of dis-ease. It's not in alignment within yourself. So as you recognize that and you allow for yourself to go and grow through this healing process, then it's not going to continue to persist, because you're not resisting it. Okay? So, and then I have, of course, a summary of 9/11. Better is on the way. Soul lessons have been integrated. Unlocking soul codes and awakening upgrades. Focus on self-care and self-love as you leap forward. And that is exactly what's happening as you are going through this shadow space and integrating your shadow, is that you go further along your journey of ascension. You are healing these things and integrating these lessons, which means you are very much shifting and going along your journey of ascension further and further and further. Aligning with the coming shift, or align with the coming shift, ground yourself, and see right here, chaotic emotions leaping forward. So we have that, and 543. Let's check that one out, shall we? Because I am intrigued. Again, that whole grounding yourself is so important. That comes into this. How can you mother yourself? How can you be holding that space for yourself as you are going and growing through these breakdown periods right now? You know, again, don't resist it. The more you resist, I assure you, the more it is sure to persist. So 543, be your true self, live accordingly. And this is, again, what you're here for, is, like I've mentioned, is to be you, not the corrupted programming that you've been taught that you are. It's time to reprogram yourself, to recognize the corruption that has been perpetrated upon you and around you and within you. And it's time for you to step into that true you through honesty, integrity, versatility. It's self-expression. Be open to receive opportunities aligned with your passions. And oh, here's the big doozy on this one. Personal freedom. Personal freedom. Right there. Free to be you, right? You attract who you are, so be aligned with what you desire. So there it is, Goddess. That's, again, this is an embodiment, an encompassment of you being you true. And that means to free yourself from that prison in your own mind that's disallowing you from stepping into that truth of you, that power that is your truth. Okay? Whew. This was, I know I needed this. How about you? I definitely would love to hear it. It went longer than what I usually intend. However, as I've mentioned lately, I am just from here forward allowing for what's coming to continue to come, and so that we receive all that we are needing to hear in this time. But really, truly, Goddess, being kind with yourself, really mothering yourself, taking that self-care and that self-love up that extra notch to recognize that only you can fill your cup all the way up. And you then are in that position to pour into others around you. But it's allowing yourself to receive from those who are ready to support you in this journey, to be grateful and find that brave where you are. And recognize that all of this is for your growth. You're liberating yourself from the bullshit of the matrix that has kept you in a depressed and anguishing avatar that really is not you. So, that said, that is the message for this week's Super Sign Sunday. As I mentioned, go follow me on Instagram for more of these details. And I will have links, as I mentioned, to reiterate, in the description down below. I am very much here for you. And remember, we had angel number 902 as well, which is big on that find your brave. And I will have those details on my Instagram post for this, which always comes right after the image post of the spread. That said, dear Goddess, thank you so much for being here with me and receiving this empowerment message. Like I said, I always love to hear any feedback from you. You can even just drop a couple emojis, your emoji signature. Let me know you were here. And I look forward to the next time that we get to hang out together. And as I mentioned, be on the lookout for my upcoming very raw video about some of these shadows that I myself have been processing through and integrating to kind of show you what it looks like to have that process. That said, dear Goddess, I am here to remind you that the power to create that change, the power to heal, the power for all of that which you desire is in your hands. It's in your hands because it has always been inside you. Namaste.